Our story starts with two girls running for their lives. As the scene shifts, we find that there are two mechas following the two girls. As those two girls reach the edge of the mountains, the mechas quickly follows them. As the two reaches the edges, the mechas aim at them. And when they shoot them, they both falls in the pit, separating them. After that, scene shifts to Britannia Empire, who Lelouch. 6. Britannia making the empire long forgotten. After this we get to see the brother of Lelouch, who actually had small islands which had a lot of armed forces, and after Lelouch destroyed the empire there was peace in Japan, but not for long, as certain people again formed forces to attack the Japan again and destroyed the peace established. We get to see island known as Area 11. In the vicinity we see a truck in which they are trying to get information. As the sea shifts we get to see red-haired guy who is shooting the terrorist who known as 11 one by one. After this the Kirkwayne forces knew about the incident and stops at fuel station for refueling, but saw a guy who is bullying a child. Kirkwayne stops him. After he introduced himself the guy was shocked and said sorry. After that they took the girl with them to a safe place. After that we got introduced to Namel's army, decided for help, Kirkwayne force of Ash and Roze as they both traveled to dispose of their items to not get caught. They were introduced to a complete stranger. As they introduced themselves, the stranger tells them to follow him. As they follow they showed a photo of Kirkwayne brother, who in the name of anti-terrorism killing innocent people and killed the stranger's family. After that they finally decided to kill the brother and form a operation. As their plan undergoes, they find the Kirkwayne getting somewhere in the car, as we also saw his big brother playing chess in his castle, as he saw something lying on the ground. As it reveals itself, they were the Ash and Raze, planning to infiltrate their base, as they threaten both the brothers and run for their base. As Kirkwayne get ready in his robot, and on the other hand, Roze infiltrates the base and get to the Kirkwayne. While Ash was engaged in the fight, Roze was beating the Kirkwayne in chess. After Ash beat the small brother and Roze beat the bigger one, it was over for Kirkwayne as Roze uses her Geass to finish off Kirkwayne. After that they brought the kid to the base. In a far sight, we got introduced to the former leader of Imperial Guards, Ice Wall, and they plan to attack on our nameless organization after they killed Kirkwayne. As speaking of nameless, we got to see Ash and Roze as they plan to infiltrate the base and rescuing Roze's sister. As the plan goes on, Roze and Ash finally infiltrates the base. As Roze uses her Geass power to unlock the door and finally meets her sister and promise her to take revenge of the Imperial Guards, but firstly they have to escape the base in order to make a plan on revenge. The latter does not last long as they are surprised by Wise Queen Catherine, who kidnaps Sakura thinking she is Sakuya. Between them soon enough we see intense action starting with major battle between Ash and Arnold. This fight reveals more about his past and true identity, as he is known as Ash Phoenix. In parallel with this event, Sakuya continues her mission of rescuing General Kuroda, leader of 7 Shining Stars, while Arnold gets defeated by Ash in an epic combat sequence. After this they all had party together. As they were enjoying, Roze was at the roof. Ash came. She asked him about his past and what is his purpose. When he tells her everything, she was disappointed, and Ash left the conversation. After this we sees the Neo-Britannian army fighting against 7 Shining Stars troops, and in this battle is Heath, a member of Neo-Britannian force who confront Ash and his nightmare. When he loses to Ash, Heath's colleagues treat him with contempt, making him feel humiliated and belittled. The stress on Heath builds to an unbearable level where he points a gun at himself, portraying how toxic the environment is in the Neo-Britannian army. Consequently, Roze disguised as Sakuya takes a break from all this mess and becomes Sakuya for some time being. In addition, Ash does not do much except spending time at home taking care of his pets. Now located in more relaxed environs, Sakuya talks to people inside Sumari Cafe. It is then that those more involved in her rebellion are introduced. Also scheming with Natalia, who is one of Emperor's trusted ones, is Princess. By chance, goons attack a waitress whom Ash rescues, and she takes him to her place of work where Raspberry Sakuya, wearing fake glasses, waits tables. Within seconds after meeting her, Ash falls in love immediately with her upon seeing her. Sakuya learns more about Ash during this time and began seeing him as being more talkative and friendlier than before. In one flashback, it is revealed that Lelouch, now LL, bestowed upon Sakuya the Geass. The Neo-Britannian Empire is in a state of political turmoil according to the episode. Norland assassinates the emperor, and Sakura, who pretends to be Sakuya, becomes the 101st empress of the Britannia Empire. Norland's influence continues to grow and his terror techniques become scarier as he manipulates events to retain control over them. The end of this episode shows Sakuya coming to terms with her errors and realizing how her actions have affected Ash, which sets up future episodes for more dramatic scenes. In wake of Emperor Callus's death, Sakuya and Roze take stock of the delicate political climate. Sakuya, under the guise of Princess Sakura, becomes the head of state, but it's evident that Norland von Lunelberg along with his Einbergs are the real rulers. This new deal triggers doubts from the Seven Shining Stars, but Sakuya plays her negotiating cards well. She carefully selects Haruka as a pilot for the advanced new nightmare called Keisetsu so as to avoid internal wars and displays her ability in North-South conflict resolution. Simultaneously, Norland's true menace comes out clearly as he seems to pull strings from abroad, although no one quite knows what he is. It appears that Heath and Einberg was killed suspiciously, which hints at some foul play taking place. In this episode, Lelouch of the Rebellion, various characters make their big appearances. For instance, Cornelia attends a meeting with Black Knight's top brass and it is disclosed that Lelouch, now known as LL, gave Sakuya her Geass. Meanwhile, Lelouch is seen with Cece on their quest for fragments of Geass. On top of that, Nina, bearing a Black Knight named Sakai in company, brings an anti-nuclear device to Seven Shining Stars, indicating her road to salvation. There are only 4 episodes came out of this series. If you want more of them, please subscribe my channel, Manhwa Recap.